Welcome to San Antonio, where the United Football League's final day of the regular season gets underway. Week 10, final chance for a group of hungry players to show what they're all about. Arlington Renegades, San Antonio Brahmas meeting up here at the Alamo Dome. Now, Arlington was in the mix to greatly affect the UFL postseason up until a couple weeks ago when they lost in that last-second thriller at DC. So this is what the postseason bracket looks like. Next week, it gets started here on ABC. Sunday at 3 p.m., USFL Conference Championship game, Michigan Panthers at the Birmingham Stallions. And later that night, the XFL Championship, DC and St. Louis, and the winners advance to June 14th, the championship game that we will broadcast right here on ABC. Glad you're with us, everybody. Joe Tessitore, as always, with my partner, Jordan Rogers. Sam Acho, Tom Luganville, they're our field-level analysts. We'll say hello to them in just a moment. We do have some news this week. Head coach Bob Stoops for Arlington unfortunately suffered a leg injury during the week, and he's unable to be with us coaching here today in this Week 10 finale. Bob, we wish you all the best in your recovery. So Chuck Long is now the interim head coach for Arlington here in Week 10. Hey, here's the beauty of the UFL, and we talked about this a lot this year. You get to a situation like this where neither one of these teams is going forward to the postseason, but these are players who love the game passionately, and they're always trying to develop themselves, continue their pro careers, and looking to develop and move forward.
Yeah, goal number one for all these teams is get to the playoffs and win a championship. Goal number two for all these guys is get back to the NFL.
That's right.
And this is that last showcase they have to prove to the NFL, I deserve to be in another camp. I deserve to get that second, third opportunity. And nobody better exemplifies that than Luis Perez, right? We call him the Spring King for a reason. He's been a mainstay of these spring professional football leagues. He's been one of the best quarterbacks year in and year out. A guy that was with the Chargers preseason last year, even at 30 years old, trying to prove he deserves another opportunity. But this Arlington team and this season's been frustrating. They are literally 2 or 3 plays away from being a playoff football team. All losses have come to playoff teams. 5 of those by a combined 15 points. So this is a really, really good football team that's come just barely short in a few games.
Yeah, San Antonio knows what that feels like as well, because they're 1-3 in one-possession games. And SEC fans always remember Kellen Mond, the quarterback, as a record breaker at Texas A&M. He's the starter here looking to wrap up Week 10.
Yeah, one of these guys that all college football fans go, I remember that run they had in 2020 where they went 8-1, finished 5th in the entire country, and a guy that was a third-round draft pick of the Vikings bounced around to a couple teams with the New Orleans Saints last year, again, trying to prove that he deserves another opportunity. And I said it's been a frustrating year for the Renegades. It's been really frustrating for the Brahmas, and anybody that has played quarterback, they need to help him. Offensive line hasn't been great. Ton of great talent around him at receiver, at running back. Defense just hasn't kept them in games like they did last year.
Hungry players looking to continue to develop, not the only reason to watch this game. Aaron Dolan, our betting analyst. You can get some action today here in Week 10. Where are your eyes?
That you can, guys. So Arlington right now is a 7-point road favorite, and the public is liking them. 81% of the money is coming in on the Renegades to cover today on ESPN Bet. But take a look at that total at 41.5. The public is split on that, but keep in mind that overs have been the trend since Week 3, going 20-10. But so far this weekend, since it is Week 10, the last week of the regular season, we have seen 2 unders cash, but you weren't seeing the typical starters in those games because, of course, those teams were going to play in the playoffs. This is a totally different situation today. So with that total at 41.5, I'm actually going to go over today. I think we'll see some points with these starting quarterbacks.
I like that. Means we'll have an entertaining game, and we'll give you some of the highlights of what's been happening around the UFL here in Week 10 at halftime. To the field we go. Our field-level analyst is Tom Luganville, who's with Arlington today. Tom.
Thank you very much there, Tess. Luis Perez. Listen, the season didn't end the way you want to, but you've got one more to go. What is the will and temperament of this team to win today, and why is that so important?
Yeah, you know, at the end of the day, we all love football, right? So we want to come out here and put the best foot forward, do what we got to do. We all have dreams and aspirations to make it to the next level. So I know it's unfortunate we didn't make playoffs this year, but we all have dreams to go to the next level. So it's another opportunity to put on a show.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. All right, Sam?
Here we have Coach Peyton Pardee. Coach Pardee, your record says one thing, but the demeanor I see you with says another. What are the emotions you feel right now?
Man, I'm just really excited. You know, really grateful for another opportunity. I feel really blessed to be in this position. I love this football team. I love this league, and I'm excited to see our guys go to work today.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Coach.
Thank you.
28-year-old head coach Peyton Pardee, head coach Wade Phillips took a leave of absence back in mid-April for personal reasons, and Peyton, the youngest head coach in the modern era of professional football. San Antonio 1-8 on the year. Arlington 4-5. But you mentioned it earlier. Arlington has had 6 one-possession games, and they went 1-5. This is a team that easily could have been in the postseason.
No doubt. 1-point losses to Birmingham and Michigan, 2 playoff teams. They beat St. Louis by a couple touchdowns, then lost to them. It's been an up-and-down year for the Arlington Renegades, but definitely a team that is playoff caliber despite not making an appearance next week in the playoffs.
Caden Price takes it out to the 25-yard line as San Antonio elected to defer. So Luis Perez, the spring king, the well-traveled veteran of pro football in the springtime and among the leaders in the league this year, last year, everywhere he's been, he just does his thing, Jordan.
No, Tess, I did his pro day back in 2018. He threw next to Johnny Manziel, and I swear he out-threw Johnny that day. I was like, who's this kid from Texas A&M Commerce? He's going to get an opportunity, and obviously has been in and out of the NFL and a namestay in the spring leagues for a long time.
He won the Harlan Hill Trophy back then as the best player in Division II at Texas A&M Commerce. He had pressure right in his face, but he gets it complete to the reliable Sal Cannella, all the way out to the 42-yard line.
Boy, watch how the play action is going to suck up these linebackers right here, and the Cannella is just going to leak right behind him, and Perez does a great job of just buying enough time. He's got pressure in his face, getting that up and over the top to Cannella, who's by far the best tight end in the UFL, and Luis taking an early hit. 30-year-old body feels different when you take those early hits.
Especially against the 300-pound former Alabama Crimson Tide star, Isaiah Buggs. There is the slant to Tyler Vaughns, and it's another first down for Arlington.
Yeah, and he's one of my impact players today. He's really been the best receiver in the UFL last 3 games, 285 yards, 4 touchdowns. And for Arlington, Day Hunter needs to have a big game. They can't be a drop-back pass-only type team. The run game needs to get going early. But if it doesn't, on the back end for the Brahmas, Fresh and Vincent, 2 guys that have just been signed the last couple of weeks, 2 young corners that are going to be tested quite a few times today.
Perez on the RPO gets it to Peyton, and Peyton makes his way out of bounds near the 40-yard lines.
A little shakeup with the Arlington Renegades up front. Alex Akingbulu is going to get the start at right tackle, the Fresno State product, making his 2nd start of the season, moving things around a little bit. Ricky Lee at left tackle, one of the best in the UFL. And because Luis Perez is not a mobile guy, a lot more pressure on this offensive line to give him a clean pocket so he can operate.
Perez is 3 for 3 to open up this game. Hunter on 2nd and 4. He struggles to make it back to the line of scrimmage. Chuck Long is acting as both the offensive coordinator and head coach today.
11 Burnett. 6 Dixie Wright, 51, 5-1, F choice, X go, Y climb, Z curl. 6 Dixie Wright, 51, F choice, X go, Y climb, Z curl. 6 Dixie Wright, 51, F choice, Y climb, X go, Z curl.
Well, that F choice is going to come on his right.
3rd down and 5. Perez gets it complete for a first down, connecting with Deontay Burnett.
Yeah, he goes the opposite way to Deontay Burnett in the slot. Going to come out working on this guy right here is the guy Perez has his eyes on. He blitzes. That's you place it with a little quick Omaha route and out route. That safety doesn't have enough time to get there. It's a veteran read at the line of scrimmage by Luis Perez.
That's the first drop back, guys, that we've seen as well. I talked to Luis Perez prior to the game. He said we want to give the influence of the run as often as we can with our passing game, and that's what they've done so far with the exception of that play.
Play action on first down, and it's Cannella again, and a stiff arm, and still on his feet inside the 20-yard line. And Perez, ball is not touching the field.
Yeah, same play as I think the first of the ball game. Watch this run fake, how it's going to suck up both linebackers, and then again, Canelo's going to find that soft spot right behind the linebackers. To Luke's point, everything's been play action early here. Everyone knows they want to establish the run, but they're going to keep getting those linebackers to suck up and hitting that void right behind them.
Here is Hunter, just his second carry of this opening drive as he brings it to the 12-yard line, tackled by Haynes. Will Reed is the defensive coordinator for San Antonio.
87's coming in. 15, 87. Well, yeah.
Hey, go star, wing 43, wing 43. Got it. 15 is in at quarterback, wing 43.
You hear Will Reed acknowledge that 15 is in at quarterback. That is Holton Allers, and they have multiple full-loaded backfield packages for him. Second down. He's going to pitch it to the outside. Ball is loose. The ball is loose. And San Antonio recovers. Kobe Jones with the recovery as the pitch was never secured.
Yeah, and Holton Allers is left-handed, so this one, he just gets going a little too lateral, and I think he's worried about throwing that ball forward as he's trying to get it out to Day Hunter. And just a big mistake early.
Day-Day's got to catch that ball, though.
No doubt, no doubt.
So a good-looking opening drive ends with a turnover. The UFL is brought to you by Progressive. Protect your home, auto, business today at progressive.com. San Antonio with the ball when we return to Week 10 here in the UFL.
Hey, one more time.
I love you so much.
Love you too.
Can't thank you enough for everything, brother. Can't thank you enough for everything. Let's finish this thing out the right way.
Yep.
Love you so much, man. Do what you do. Knock the F out of somebody. You with me? I just want you to know how much I really appreciate you being with us and how much of a joy you've been to coach, man.
So I'm here with Kobe Jones. Kobe, you just recovered the fumble. So we have the iPad. We're watching what you're watching. How did you make that play?
Honestly, I feel like it was a case of being situationally aware. We were in the high red zone, or mid red zone. Yeah, we're in the mid red zone. And as you can see, I'm right here in our base alignment. And I got this tackle kind of putting a stop to the motion of the O-line. And I'm just sitting and playing in position for the quarterback because we know like the past recent teams been trying to attack us with zone read right here in this area. And just kind of stayed in position. Looked like he kind of was spooked I was there and recovered, made a play.
Awesome. Great job. Awesome. Thanks, Kobe.
Jay-Sean Corbin just tackled by Chris Odom on the first play offensively for San Antonio.
A sin F away to trips right, Wolf, firm, Rose Marine, outside lock.
Kellen Mond, the starting quarterback. Bit of a choppy season, but gets to finish up here. Amazing career at Texas A&M before being drafted by the Minnesota Vikings. Here's Mond on second down. Pressure right up the middle as he looks to extend the play. And then downfield gets it complete near the 35-yard line. Coming back for the ball was Jacob Harris.
And this is such a great play by Mond. And this was the question. He's so good on time and in rhythm, but can he make those plays when everything breaks down, right? He's a good athlete. This is a tough throw going to your left as a right-handed quarterback to get enough on that ball. That's something that he has had to do a lot of because the offensive line hasn't been great. But a big start for Mond in this offense.
20-yard completion. They go on the inside with Corbin, and Corbin utilizes a good block to make his way to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, Corbin's one of my impact guys. The run game has actually been pretty good for the Brahmas. Problem is they've been so far behind in a lot of games, they haven't been able to lean on it, but he is averaging over 5 yards a pop. Greg Ward's a guy at the Peyton party said we got to get him involved early and often. And on the outside, Willie Taylor is as good as it gets in the UFL. Rushing the passer off the edge. He was on my voting list for Defensive Player of the Year, and a J.N.A. Harris with 3 interceptions as well. Going to be a guy that's reading Mond's eyes all game.
2nd and 3. Mond with time to the outside, complete for a first down to Kirkland, past midfield.
And I mentioned this offensive line, but it's been a little bit of patchwork at time. Derek Kelly going to get a start at right guard for the injured Vitaly Gurman. They got to find ways to give Kellen Mond time, because when he is on time and in rhythm, he's an NFL quarterback. He can make every single throw. He's just had so much pressure in his face consistently. That's led to some of those inaccuracies and mistakes.
14-yard reception by Kirkland. Mond, RPO, decides to keep it. Pretty good decision, but I don't know about going up and over as he's taken down by Stephen Jones at the end of that play.
Flop, blue F swing, X snag D's. Spread, flop, blue F swing, X snag D's.
It's the grandson of the renowned NFL head coach, College Football Hall of Famer Jack Pardee, the 28-year-old head coach of San Antonio, Peyton Pardee.
You're in like a flat.
Second and 5. Mond, as they go on the inside to Stylianos, his big tight end. And that is right at the line to gain, and that'll be a first down for the Brahmas.
And
Pardee's done a great job this year.
Penguin F arc. Ace right, H phony, Q penguin F arc.
As you see him calling the plays right there, remember, he was not even the offensive coordinator to start this year. He was a special teams coach, wide receiver coach. A.J. Smith left. He became the offensive coordinator. Then when Wade Phillips stepped aside, he became the head coach. So this wasn't originally his offense. He wasn't originally the play caller. But he's done a good job of throwing things together here late in the season, even though it hasn't translated in wins.
Mond on first down, trying to get to the outside, and he is able to get the edge, and he steps out near the 31-yard line. Marvin Sanders is in his 4th year on the Renegades staff. He's the defensive coordinator opposite Kellen Mond in this offense.
12.
Big nickel! Big nickel! Big nickel!
Okay. Over. 1U. Over. 1U. Great check. Big H drag. On one. Ready. Let's go. Discipline with the eyes for the bootleg.
I love that, giving a little coaching tip. Last second to his linebacker, Donald Payne.
Second and 5. Mond, as he gets it complete near the 22-yard line to Kirkland again, and it's another first down. And both quarterbacks starting this game red hot, as neither quarterback has thrown an incompletion to this point. Luis Perez started 5 for 5 for 60 yards before that play ended with a turnover.
I'm going to give you the previous spot information.
Kellen Mond 4 for 4 as Dean Blandino takes a look at this last
So
play.
it's going to be 3rd and 5. You're on the 31 left hash, and we're going to wind the clock.
Gotcha. Pass is
You can see
incomplete.
that ball just
Ball will be returned to the
hits the
previous
ground
spot.
and then rotates a
Third
little
down.
bit.
So our first incompletion of the game.
Clock will start on my signal.
Just when you were praising.
Just when I was praising both
percentage.
quarterbacks, right? So Mond's now 3 of 4. Perez 5 for 5.
Go just third down.
Okay.
Third down.
Okay, go 11.
So Dean Blandino brings it back to a 3rd
All right,
and 5.
let's go here. Go spread, zoom, elephant, freak right. Spread, zoom, elephant, freak right.
Here we go. A spread, zoom, elephant, freak right. On one. Ready.
And this is where this offensive line has got to deal with Taco Charlton and Willie Taylor, both defensive ends. There's Taco, there's Taylor, one of the best in the UFL. You got to block those guys to give them on time.
Yeah, money 46. Money 46.
3rd and 5 for Mond. Gets it to Corbin out of the backfield. Corbin with ease picks up the first down.
Well, it's a great job of putting Corbin on the left, so his linebacker Payne's going to have to guard him from there. You bring him all the way across that traffic. Creates a natural little rub route. Great call on 3rd down, because then you take those good defensive ends out of the picture. That's one thing Pardee wanted to do, is play this game early on the perimeter. Get those great pass rushers running laterally, get them tired. Don't let them pin their ears back and come after Mond.
11-yard reception. First down, San Antonio. Corbin on the outside, patiently waiting for those blocks and able to gain just over 2 yards. Caleb Johnson on the tackle for Arlington. League average is 54% in the red zone. We'll see touchdown percentage for San Antonio's 42%.
Here we go. A bunch left, wide disco, red check slow.
Red check slow,
Fiesta, Z shallow, on one, ready?
Let's go, send the motion.
Second and 8. Mons on a shallow cross at the 15-yard line is Jontre Kirkland, who's been an active target.
Okay, let's go here. Left hash. Okay. Let's go tight, flop, blue F wheel, X wall. Tight, flop, blue F wheel, X wall.
Okay. Put bodies on it. Let's go. Orange. 4 read. Orange. 4 read. Shut up. I'll shut up.
You heard that F wheel. That would be the slot receiver right there.
12th play of this long drive after the fumble recovery. Third down, and he goes to his tight end, Stylianos, and Stylianos is going to be marked, looks like maybe the length of a football short of that line of the game, so they're going to send in the football game.
Yeah, this time actually the running back was on the wheel route, and if that vacates the defenders, then you have the tight end coming back across to replace. Zone coverage was over the top. Wheel route wasn't there, so that's about as best you could ask for with that play call.
Tristan Vizcaino in for the 30-yard field goal attempt to try to cap the 12th play drive after the fumble recovery to open up this game defensively for San Antonio. So Kellen Mond manages a field goal drive of 75 yards. San Antonio up early. This presentation of the UFL will continue after these messages and a word from our ABC stations. Arlington Renegades looking to wrap up their season. Of course, their head coach is Bob Stoops, national champion, his great career at Oklahoma, then an XFL champion with Arlington. Unfortunately, Bob Stoops suffered a leg injury this week and is unable to be with the team here in San Antonio. So Chuck Long, longtime coach, of course, college football Hall of Famers, the interim head coach, and Luke's is down on the sidelines with defensive coordinator Marvin Sanders.
Thank you, Tess. Coach, obviously that first drive, you got to feel for one another a little bit there. They pulled the ball a few times with the quarterback, moved the launch point with the quarterback. What adjustments do you need to make?
Well, that's one thing, Kellen Mond, he's a great athlete, so we know he can move. So we got to make sure we do our job to keep him in the pocket. We had a chance down in that second down, but he showed his ability. So we just got to make sure we play our responsibility and make sure we understand where he's going to be at.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Tess, just so you know, part of the protocol for Arlington today, Chuck Long will make the decisions up from the booth. Marvin Sanders, the defensive coordinator, will have the red flag for challenges.
Yeah, it's interesting how they have to deal with that today with Coach Stoops unable to be here. We hope he has a speedy recovery. Chuck Long stays up in the booth, the former San Diego State head coach, the College Hall of Famer, the offensive coordinator for Bob Stoops.
We get an idea of how Stoops got that injury. I think we need a little more details on the injury report.
I just hope he's back to business pretty soon.
Was he racing a mascot like we were a couple weeks ago?
I hope not.
Sam, you want what I sense that you want a rematch so badly when I hear you come out with a comment like that.
I see 2 mascots down here. I'm ready for a rematch.
Yeah, but 2 of them are racehorses. I saw that.
No, not the horses. Not the horses.
Perez, play action. As he gets it complete and connects with Winstead. Zay Winstead is one of those names when you have conversations this week about players who really have something to play for in terms of the ability to advance your career.
Yeah, he's a guy that'll be in the NFL next year. He was with the New York Jets last year in preseason, and if you're watching, you might go, wait, what about Tyler Vaughns? I mean, he's had such a huge year. You know, Vaughns is 28, almost 29 years old. Isaiah Winstead at 25 years old. Still a lot of football ahead of him. Big frame. Guy the NFL scouts have been looking at, and he'll get another opportunity, I imagine, once fall comes.
That's a really good run by Day Hunter for a first down for Arlington.
And this is kind of that point where you wonder when they take that first big shot. Chuck Long mentioned this was a defense that they wanted to take shots. They like double moves against this soft zone with some of the eyes you see in the backfield. At some point, and Luis Perez is so good at it, they're going to take that over the top shot to Tyler Vaughns.
Perez, as he was looking for an option, dragging down the line of scrimmage was Seth Green, so just a yard there.
Let's go 12. 7, Dixie left. 350, Z Leo Hitches. 7, Dixie left. 350, Z Leo Hitches.
350.
So you know the shot play is not going to come here because 50 is a pass protection. When you put the 3 in front of it, means 3-step, quick game. So the ball should be coming out of Luis's hands very quickly here.
2nd and 9, and it is quickly out of his hands to Vaughns. And Vaughns makes, whoa, ball came out again, and it was hit back inbounds by a San Antonio player, Jordan Mosley. And then recovered. They're going to talk this over, but it looked like it was recovered by Sal Cannella.
Yeah, Vaughn's just fighting for extra yards here. He's going to get tied up around his feet, and then Mosley's going to come in and strip that ball out. I think that indeed was a fumble. It gets batted back in bounds here, and then Cannella ends up with it.
Dean Blandino's going to take a look at this in the Verizon Command Center. You see Jordan Mosley deciding to bat it back in, give his defense
right now
a chance. There is Dean.
The ball's out
in the Verizon Command Center.
And the ball's in there, and then Arlington eventually recovers it. So, and we're good. It's not 4th down, so the advance is legal.
Number 8 has to leave for a play, correct? Number 8.
They still have the injury? Yeah, we're clear on the play.
Reset the play clock to about 25. I'm good with that.
And you guys are all clear on the play.
Tyler Vaughns was slow to get up at the end of that play. He's being helped off by the training staff. As you heard Dan Blandino clean everything up at the end of that play. And it is indeed Arlington who retains possession, has a first down at the 45-yard line.
I know it's early, Joe, but I'm on this sideline of San Antonio. You could feel the energy. The 2 forced fumbles in the first quarter, that means they're trying to go and take the game away and try and get a victory.
You know, I love that observation, Sam, because it marries up to a lot of the conversations we've had here about the difference in a UFL game in Week 10 when you have teams that aren't playing for the postseason compared to other pro sports leagues. That's exactly what we were talking about. Hunter on the carry. And Matt breaks through the first would-be tackle and keeps his legs driving to the 42-yard line.
And just to continue that point, Tess, I was walking by the locker room before the game. You could hear the energy, not just from the players, but from Coach Peyton Pardee. There's this level of let's go and get a victory and end this season on a good note, rather than let's just get out of here and roll our helmets out and leave.
Double right Z move. Pass Colt 3. Z bubble deep.
We got 5 seconds to the quarter.
Quarter.
And that is the end of the first quarter. A field goal lead for San Antonio. Luis Perez is 8 for 8 for 82 yards. Week 10 of the UFL. We will return to San Antonio after this short break. Interesting start to our day here, the final regular season day of the UFL. It is Week 10. Arlington with Luis Perez. The offense came right down the field. He's 8 for 8, but then they fumbled. San Antonio went down, got a field goal drive, and now back to business for Perez and the Renegades here to start this second quarter. 2nd and 7 they're facing.
And you heard him there in the huddle. Hey, ball security, just reminding everybody to put the ball on the ground again.
2 times they fumbled.
Hey, here we go, boys. Hey, we're going double right, Z move, pass full 3, Z bubble decon, on the break, over the ball, over the ball.
So it looks like another play action fake that's kind of been a staple so far in this game from Chuck Long. Trying to affect that second level for the Brahmas, get those linebackers to suck up.
Perez going to take a shot downfield and connecting with Winstead.
Boy, Winstead, again, we talked about him and potentially another NFL opportunity. Here's one of the reasons why. At 6'3", 210, running down the sideline. Great adjustment on the back shoulder throw here by Luis Perez. This is such a good throw. And this is another reason that Perez might get another opportunity in the NFL, just the placement of that ball, because Joseph was in great coverage.
Perez is 9 for 9 for over 100 yards already. And quick to the line. And around Payton. Trying to wiggle his way inside the 20-yard line. Tackled by Mosley.
Well, it's been a little bit of who they've had to be, right? Well, when Kalen Ballage went down, one of the best running backs in the UFL, they've been trying to manufacture rushing yards in any way possible. Misdirections, reverses. Payton had a reverse for a touchdown last week to kind of manufacture some rushing yards. Take a little bit of pressure off the pass game and off Luis Perez's shoulders.
Kalen Ballage had shoulder surgery a few weeks ago. Hope he's doing well.
ATL, this is going to be a fake cadence, and Perez is going to call the play at the line of scrimmage. You see there him calling the play.
2nd and 8, 4-man rush, and a flag comes down immediately as there was some movement.
I'll start 75.
Falso arranque, 75 ofensivo, 5 yardas de castigo, segundo down.
Francisco Villar giving us the call in Spanish.
A little false start. I love when they do that, though. I mean, Chuck Long has so much trust in his quarterback. He just has him line up, and then Perez can call any play he wants once he sees what the defense is doing. They do that more than you'd think.
2nd and 13 after the penalty. Perez looking right, and he gets it to the outside. It was just over the defender's outstretched arms and into the hands of Deontay Burnett as Hooper was trying to break on that ball.
Wow, great ball location beats great coverage any day of the week. William Hooper, who was in coverage on that play down the sideline, was all over that. There is nowhere for that ball to go. Perez puts it in the only spot just over the arms of Hooper.
And that's being ruled incomplete out of bounds, so that's the first incompletion. But seriously, unbelievable arm talent we're seeing early on here from Perez. 3rd down and 13. After that, he's going to the end zone. And that is tipped away at the last second by Jordan Mosley. And a flag is down back at the 32.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, 95 of the defense. 15-yard penalty with an automatic first down.
Former NFL defensive lineman with the Steelers and Lions, former Nick Saban championship winning defensive tackle Isaiah Buggs flagged there.
And he's asking for a replay of that. This is a big hit on Perez right after the ball is released. Again, any defensive guy will say, man, that's one step. I can't stop on that one step, but you got to try to lay up as much as possible, not extend those arms and add injury to insult there, or insult to injury on the hit.
Jordan, I am a defensive guy. That was one step. I mean, like, all jokes aside, it wasn't helmet contact. It was his hands. It looked violent, but that's football.
I know. That's the thing. It looked more violent than it probably was because the hands got extended a little bit.
First and goal. We'll keep it on the ground. And right into the end zone they go. Day Hunter with the rushing touchdown.
Boy, blitz is going to come from this right side, as you see. Watch the block by Marcus Minor. That's going to be what springs this rush. They run away from the blitz, and that block, Minor climbing to the second level, getting on Jordan Williams. So Williams can't scrape over the top and make that play. Really well-blocked run from that Arlington front five.
Go, hurry up, go.
Ortho home defense conversion attempt as they will go for 2. Day Hunter, who fumbled earlier, comes back and gets the rushing touchdown to open up the scoring for Arlington. Perez back of the end zone, nobody there. Our score remains 6-3. Day Hunter's wearing the True Vision chest cam today. So you want to know what a 9-yard touchdown run looks like? This capped a 9-play, 66-yard drive. 6-3. Chuck Long, nice. Offensive coordinator, loves it. This presentation of the UFL will continue after these messages and a word from our ABC stations. Day Hunter just scored a touchdown, and then he said, hey, listen, this needs to be delivered to Grandma. So, hey, take this football and bring it right up there because we got some celebrating to do. Day Hunter just made the score 6-3 Arlington. Hand-delivering the football for family. Luke's?
Let's have some up here in the booth with Arlington General Manager Rick Mueller, and I want to talk a little personnel with you. You've been a part of this game, part of this league now, and the National Football League for a long time. What is the NFL looking for when they are identifying players out of this league?
You know, I think it depends on the team, but, you know, it's kind of, the trend has kind of been the guys that are, you know, 25, 26 or under, guys that have had limited opportunity in a preseason or a camp. And those kind of guys seem to be the most attractive guys for NFL teams.
So we saw somebody like Day Hunter right there, Jaden Price, a nice young corner you guys really like. And then there's somebody like Willie Taylor, who's had a little bit more of a bit of a taste. How are those two players, Willie Taylor and Jaden Price, viewed in terms of hot commodities as it relates to the NFL looking to expand their roster?
Well, Jaden's one of those guys that was with the Falcons in camp last year and had a good camp with them. Really liked the tape from the preseason. But coming in this league and being able to play every snap, now the NFL can get a real evaluation of him, and he's been really good this year, so that's been awesome. A guy like Willie Taylor, Willie's been a good player for us, but this year he's a different kid, so he's really turned it up a notch, and he's gotten stronger, and he's really playing with some passion, and it shows on the field. I mean, he's leading in sacks and really making a lot of plays. So, you know, Willie's come along, but he's really been impressive this last season.
Over the last 3 years, as this league has continued to develop, and you're dealing with players and their representatives, what's been the mindset as it relates to a player signing an NFL future or coming and playing in the UFL and getting 50, 60, 70 snaps a game on tape?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've got a pretty good case for a guy to come here and play in the spring as opposed to signing a futures deal. You look at the numbers, a lot of guys sign futures deals and then get released after the draft and, you know, really wasted a spring. So, you know, my pitch is, look, come play in our league and you get a chance to put some film on and show what you can do. And then when you're done, you can still sign with an NFL team and go to camp. So I think that this year we got much more response from that than we have in the past. And I think it's really helped.
Great stuff, Rick. Thanks so much.
You bet. Thank you.
Tess?
Rick Mueller, the general manager for Arlington, as D. Anderson comes up with the reception for San Antonio. And you say, okay, Rick Mueller giving you the perspective. Keep in mind, he was the director of pro personnel for the Philadelphia Eagles. We asked him this week, all right, let's talk about an upper tier of NFL prospect, guys you think will be in camp come the fall. This is what he told us.
Yeah, we just saw Jaden Price make the tackle and coverage on that play right there. Willie Taylor, I had him number 2 as my voted defensive player of the year, right behind Dalmapenu of St. Louis. And he's second in sacks in the UFL. He's really demonstrated his ability to get after the quarterback.
Here's McFarland, who has just returned to action on 3rd and 1, and he is stopped at the line of scrimmage by Donald Payne.
Yeah, they're going to punt this one, but kind of back to what he was talking about. As a guy that, and me, I was a practice squad quarterback with the Tampa Bay Bucks in 2013, and end of the year, our coaching staff got let go. So I didn't have the opportunity to sign a futures contract, but I needed to play because that coaching staff that believed with me was no longer in the NFL. A new staff came in, and I hadn't put any tape out. Didn't have a chance to play in preseason because of an injury. I would have loved the UFL for the opportunity to just go, hey, I just want to show that I can play, develop, get better, and give myself another opportunity, and that's what this league is doing.
Brad Wing, former LSU star, punting away. Our first punt of the game as he sky drives this all the way down to the 10-yard line where Price is on the return and met by the coverage near the 18.
Talk about plays and getting eyeballs on you from NFL scouts. How about a top 10 play on SportsCenter? Johnson with the circus catch there. And that's the thing about this league. One or two plays can put you on the radar, right? One or two plays that get shown all over the country, and an NFL scout can go, wait a minute, I should maybe go back and watch a little bit more of that guy, right? So it can take one or two plays in this game to give guys an opportunity. And Kate Johnson, Michigan, and Birmingham are going to get another opportunity to go at it next week.
Next Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern on ABC. It is the USFL Conference Championship, then the XFL Conference Championship, all leading the way to the UFL Championship game on Saturday, June 14th. Perez gets the ball out quickly to Winstead again for a first down.
It's good to see Tyler Vaughn's back out there. He went down injured on that fumble we saw earlier. Walked off field a little gingerly, but back out there now in the slot.
13-yard reception by Winstead. Perez goes right back his direction on the hitch on the outside. Tackled by Vincent.
All right, let's go. 1187, JP at F. Trough left. Is it left hash? Left. No. Trough right C, hop. F jet left, can Casper, steer 6.
Yeah. Trough right. Okay, C hop. F jet left, can Casper, steer 6. On the ready. Gotta go. Let's go. Let's go.
Second and 7. They go with the pop pass jet motion with Payton. And Payton keeping his balance well past midfield.
Yeah, Javonte Payton, they love getting him involved. Easy ways to get touches. A former Tennessee product. Second time he's gotten the ball, a little jet reverse. Tony Jones out there leading the way. And again, just trying to manufacture rushing yards for a team that everybody in the building knows they want to throw the football. But you got to be able to keep a defense honest.
Perez again getting the ball out quickly. This time it's the tight end Seth Green.
And Jordan, it's not just keeping the defense honest, it's keeping them off balance. You see there's a lot of play action, then there's the side-to-side runs, then it's a run, then it's a pass. It feels as if the field is like on this like tilts, and that's what the defense feels. They can't get a beat on what's happening.
Tony Jones goes straight ahead, and in doing so gets a first down for Arlington.
No, Sam, you mentioned that in terms of keeping you off balance as a defender, and you've been through this before. When you can't get to the quarterback because the quarterback's getting the ball out of his hand so quickly, how frustrating is that for you?
Well, it's frustrating because not only is the ball out quick, but then when I think it's run, it's pass, they throw it over my head. When I think it's pass, it's run, they get 5-7 yards. And then when I stay back, they get a quick completion. So it's just a great game plan by the offense, and defense needs to get on one accord.
Reverse flea flicker, Perez wide open and complete to Green, and it'll be first and goal.
Boy, so it's Javonte Payton on this post route that is going to take both these defenders, which is going to allow tight end just to sneak, Seth Green just to sneak down the sideline there undetected until the Brahmas figure it out. Well, they call that route by Javonte Payton for the love of the game. You know you're not going to get the ball. Your job is just to take the defense with you and give Seth Green an opportunity. Jordan Williams, linebacker for the Brahmas, a little shaken up.
Jordan Williams, who played at Baylor, team leader in tackles this year. Good to see him running off the field at the end of the game. You can see he's wearing the True Vision chest cam as he runs off the field.
Right, now this is the area of the field that Arlington has struggled since Kalen Ballage went down. The inability to run the football inside the 10-yard line means they've had to be a drop-back pass team. A lot of teams, a lot of defenses have gone drop 8, knowing they got to throw the football, and all those passing windows start to get smaller and smaller. Let's see if they can get the run game going here inside the 10.
First and goal. Perez far beyond the reach of Winningham, who's covered by Corey Mayfield Jr.
And that was a called run, right? And Luis looked out to the left and saw Winningham and gave him a little signal. He liked the one-on-one coverage. It was press man, thought he could get a back shoulder or a jump ball. That's what Chris Long, the offensive coordinator for Arlington, Chuck Long mentioned, is this offense always has the chalk in their hand last. What does that mean? It means Perez can always change the play up until the very last second, depending on what the defense is doing.
Second and goal. Perez. Jones out of the backfield was met right away and slammed back by Sean Fresh. And a flag is down right at that point of contact. Beckett was also in on the tackle.
You have the defender using his helmet?
Use of helmet, the defender. Use of helmet by the tackler, number 1.
So we're going
Okay, no foul. This is the end of the run. Thank you.
You're going to look at targeting here.
There's no foul for use of helmet. We're going to go right there. There is no foul for illegal contact with the helmet. Third down.
That's a great job cleaning that one up. Sean Fresh comes up and does a good job leaning in with his right shoulder as opposed to ducking that head and hit with the crown of helmet or anything. Good job by the refs there to clean it up and not go to a review. You like when the game keeps going, you know? Good pace.
Third and goal. And a timeout is going to be called by Arlington. Take a break with them. 6.5 until halftime. 3-point lead for now as they're knocking on the door of that end zone. Interim head coach Chuck Long, the play caller for Arlington, opposite Coach Pardee, as we come off the timeout to a 3rd and goal for the Renegades.
And this is another one of those play calls where Luis Perez is going to call the play at the line of scrimmage. They have no play called right now. Plenty of time.
Oh, see the finger pointing right away.
NZI, defense 92.
I had the same thing.
98.
92.
92 is on my side, but yes.
Neutral zone infraction for 92 of the defense. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Rashard Lawrence getting a little greedy there. But I love it by Perez. He's watching the clock. He knows he's got about 14 seconds. Like, I'm going to hard count one more time. And if they don't jump, then I'm going to change the play. And now Arlington changing things up, and Holton Allers will be in the game at quarterback. They're running quarterback.
So with the penalty, you get the ball on the 2-yard line. That allows them to go with their power package with Holton Allers coming in at quarterback. Offset eye with Allers. Tony Jones, the featured back here. And you can see the confusion that was happening with Allers coming in the game. He's calling for the timeout, but I don't know if it's been acknowledged yet.
still third down. By rule, team cannot call back-to-back timeouts.
So keep in mind, they had called a timeout, then there was a penalty, then they're asking for another timeout.
Yeah, one of those wrinkles.
If we'd had a legal snap, a legal play, then you could. Yeah,
So
we didn't have a
far,
legal,
they're
we didn't
0
have
for
a
2 on
legal snap because we had that. Yeah, because it was a dead ball penalty. It was a dead ball penalty. They never snapped the ball.
So there's the caveat.
There's no play
right?
in between.
Yeah, even though it felt like it, right? Because you got the penalty, it felt like you ran a play. The ball wasn't snapped.
We still have a dead
Since it was a dead ball penalty there, you can't call.
So the 5 yards go in reverse, and you're back to a 3rd and goal from the 7, and that means Perez comes back in the game with a different personnel group.
Sal Cannella, big tight end target there.
Third and goal, Luis Perez. He's going to try to run it in, and he does. A 7-yard rushing touchdown by Perez.
Boy, not known to be fleet of feet, but when no one's there, you don't need to run a 4.5 40.
Everything was
5.2
spread out.
will be just good enough.
Yeah.
Dixie, 4 Dixie right bucks. 50, Z snag at sledge. On the clip, ready? Let's go, let's go.
Look at how efficient Perez has been today.
4 Dixie right bucks.
2-point conversion attempt. Bunch formation to the right. He looks that way with a man in his face back of the end zone. And coming up with the catch was Sal Cannella for the 2-point conversion. Oh, boy. I'm having some Egg Bowl flashbacks here.
Well, this is what I love. As a quarterback, you come up and go, how many guys are in the box? We got 1, 2, 3, 4. The 5th guy that Perez is looking at, it has eyes on the slot receiver. So there's only 4 guys that even know what the quarterback's doing. All the other guys have eyes on these receivers trying to cover them up, and Perez goes, I like my numbers. 5 on 4, calls his own number using the wheels. And then this is, I circled Sal Cannella a couple plays ago just because of his size at 6'4", 240, in and around the goal line. Such a good target. That time makes a great adjustment. And an interesting celebration that we've seen before.
Do you remember Ole Miss's Elijah Moore?
Yeah.
I think Sal Cannella does. Let's check in with Aaron. I know you were hyping up the over. Arlington starting to come through a little bit with the scoring.
I know. I was really needed some points here. But right now on ESPN Bet, you can live bet the Brahmas' next drive outcome. As you can see on your screen, here are 4 options. So far, we've seen punt cash as well as field goal attempted cash in this market. But keep in mind, punt is typically what we see cash in this one for the Brahmas, considering they've had a punt on 34 of 74 drives so far this season.
Thank you, Aaron. Kirkland on the return. You see all the fire and hype as the Arlington saying they came up with it. And they did. Instant cash-in turnover on the kickoff return. Kalen DeLoach coming away with the football.
Yeah, Stephen Jones here just gets his left hand on the ball. Kirkland was kind of looking at the guy behind him. Lost focus and ball security there for just a second. And a massive play for Arlington. It's kind of been the Brahmas season. Anytime they need a drive, anytime they need to regain momentum, they just really haven't been able to. And we've seen the ball hit the turf quite a bit today already, this time on the Brahmas end.
Jordan, I was just about ready to get the scalded gazelle, Luis Perez, and then he had to jump up and looked like he was even faster.
Here's Tony Jones as he gets to the 14-yard line for the Renegades.
Yeah, after that, 8-yard run or so, Perez was probably getting oxygen on the sideline.
Exactly.
I need the break. And
He was sitting next to me. I think he got up from the bench faster than he ran the quarterback draw.
Well, now he's back on the sideline. Colton Allers is back in.
Kalen DeLoach coming up with that fumble recovery. Spent last year with the Bucks in the NFL in camp and then practice squad with the Jags. Of course, was a great player at Florida State. Allers can't do much there as he came in at quarterback.
Wow. Rashad Lawrence, who was the one that jumped off sides, is going to come just blow this up. We call that crashing the mesh. Right, a lot of times a mesh where that quarterback puts it in the running back's gut causes everybody to kind of freeze. Wait, what is he going to do? Best thing to do sometimes is just go blow it up. Lawrence trying to get some redemption for that penalty he had just a few plays ago.
Perez comes back in for 3rd down and 12. And they're going to use another timeout. No, it's interesting, Jordan. We had a conversation this week with Chuck Long about Luis Perez. I mean, Luis Perez, this is one of the most circuitous routes of a path of a football career, through his college career, through his pro career. And we said, is this the kind of guy that still wants to keep doing this? There was no hesitation right away. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that was kind of some of the speculation. Is this going to be the last game for Luis? He's 30 years old. He's been with 6 or 7 NFL teams as early as, or as late as last year. So he's still getting opportunities. But at some point, is that opportunity going to keep coming? And he goes, look, he's got a ton of gas left in the tank. He just relocated his family from San Diego to the Arlington area to be closer to the facility, be around it a little bit more. I think he's going to keep bringing it back as many times as they'll have him. And with how he's played today and this year, you can tell there's still a lot of really good football from Perez left.
3rd and 12. Go with a short game to Peyton, and Peyton is going to be tackled at the 14-yard line, so that'll make for a 4th down. As Lucas Haversick, place kicker, will trot on the field for Chuck Long, the offensive coordinator, and today the interim head coach. Once again, Bob Stoops suffered a leg injury this week, so he's been unable to be with the team and unable to be here coaching today. Wish the best for Coach Stoops. Haversick's had a really good season. 19 of 22. This from 32 as he punches it through. Another one of those players you hear about, hey, could be in an NFL training camp, on an NFL roster come the fall. So many of the specialists in this league, you could say that about. 17-3 Arlington. Well, there is the 28-year-old head coach, Peyton Pardee. Of course, he comes from great coaching pedigree. His grandfather, Jack Pardee, longtime NFL head coach, junction boy at Texas A&M, played in the NFL, coached in the NFL, is in the College Football Hall of Fame, was the head coach for the Houston Oilers. And then Jim Kelly was his quarterback when he was the head coach of the Houston Gamblers, the USFL's Houston Gamblers, a young Jim Kelly with a run and shoot offense.
How about that backfield they had too? Jim Kelly, Flutie was there at one point, Herschel Walker.
Oh, New Jersey Generals, yeah. Sean Fresh on the return. Ball's out again. I mean, back-to-back kickoff returns where San Antonio has fumbled, but this time they're able to recover it. As that was Jalen Elliott who was there on special teams with the fumble recovery.
Wow, almost identical to what we saw to Kirkland last time. This time ball in his left hand and his shoulder is the one that knocks it out. This is where San Antonio's got to put a drive together. They found themselves down multiple scores in a lot of games where they got to get into a drop back only type game, and that's not who they are. They need to play this like it's a 1-score game, not a 2-score game. Get the run game going, get a long drive. They also get the ball after half, so if they can double up here, they can change the landscape of this game.
Here's the completion for a first down to Jacob Harris. Hey, let's bring in Arlington's starting quarterback, Luis Perez, the Spring King. Luis, great to have you with us. Joe Tessitore and Jordan Rogers. How about the touchdown run earlier today, my man? Showing off the wheels here.
Yeah, no, that was sweet. It was third down. You know, both nickel and safety had their back turns. I know they weren't expecting that, so I checked to it.
What do we think in the 40 is right about now, Luis?
I know it's in the 4s. I don't know how low, but it's in the 4s somewhere.
Mond on first down. As it's incomplete. He was trying to connect.
You know, Luis, we were just talking about
there.
how much we love this league and guys that want to keep playing because they love it. How much gas you got left in the tank? I know you've continued to get NFL opportunities, but what do you see in your future here the next couple of years?
We'll see. You know, we'll take it one game at a time. I love ball. I love playing. I like to think I'm playing at a high level still, so we'll see. We'll see where it goes.
Hey, Luis, we have access to the iPad you're looking at with the great technology that the UFL offers us. So take us through what you're looking at right now.
Yeah, so right now we have a jet called. Quick little pop pass to the receiver, got the edge. If we would have got safety rotation, I would have.
Oh, that should have been a pick six. Janae Harris had it right in his gut and was sprinting the other way and just couldn't corral it.
What an unbelievable read by Janae Harris. A guy that's playing as good as anybody in the UFL, leads the UFL in interceptions, passes defended, and he was thinking about his touchdown celebration before that one even hit in between the numbers.
Luis, sorry to interrupt there.
No, you're fine.
So take us back through and we'll show the output of your tablet and as to what you're looking at. Take us through it.
Okay, so this one right here, we have a dual formation. It's kind of a trickery type, kind of reverse type double pass, or not double pass, excuse me, like a reverse pass. Seth wide open, made a nice play. That was good.
And meanwhile, your defense coming up with the sack. Chris Odom on third down. Continue on, Luis, please.
Nice. So yeah, and then we had a little, let's see what we had here. We had a little go route called. Could have given him a better ball, could have given him a better chance here.
That one you just called at the line of scrimmage, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Had him pressed, you know, wanted to get Luana a touchdown here.
Thank you so much, Luis. 16 of 18 for 178 yards for Perez in this first half as we've reached the 2-minute warning, and with the veteran quarterback's efforts, it's a 17-3 lead for Arlington. 2-minute warning, fourth down when we return. We got two winner-go-home games in OKC. Tennessee, UCLA, Oregon, Oklahoma. Tennessee, UCLA is coming up next on ABC. The 2025 Women's College World Series. That is unbelievable watch. All the action from Oklahoma City set to come your way right here on ABC.
I'll tell you, for someone who made a living at one point throwing the football overhand, I do not understand how those girls get so much velocity on the ball. Pitching underhand, it is crazy. Fun to watch, too.
Jaden Price with a nice punt return out towards the 27-yard line.
Boy, and Luis Perez has been dealing 6 or 7 different receivers every time the Brahmas have brought pressure. The ball's been out quick. When they don't bring pressure, he finds the green grass, and the ball location downfield has been impeccable. He's frustrating this Brahmas defense. And then, hey, he said, I asked him, what's the 40 time? He said, well, it's 4 something. And I don't care if it's 4.99. That's all he needed on that one.
His father, a former pro soccer player in Mexico. He was great at bowling when he was a teenager and then learned how to play quarterback watching YouTube. And now the longtime spring king of pro football as they go with a delay to Hunter. And Hunter able to keep that leg drive going as a penalty flag comes down as he finishes up near the 30-yard line.
Personal foul.
You know, his quarterbacks are always good bowlers.
Do you believe
get a number? So we're going to attack. We're going to go 15.
I regularly got a 230, 240 in me.
Did you watch
Somebody
the PBA tour?
90 is your number.
No, I did
90.
not.
Personal foul. Face mask. For 90 of the defense. 15-yard penalty be added to the end of the play with an automatic first down.
Did you have bowling nights with you and your brothers growing up?
Yeah, you know, we'd hit the bowling alley every, couple months. See the face mask here.
Hey, Jordan, you know how they say 90 is your number? 90 is your number for the face mask? 90 is your number for bowling.
I agree with you, Sam.
90 is your number. 90 is
Are you Roy Munson or are you Big Earn?
Hey, all I know is I could bowl.
Hey, you just give me a couple nice bumpers, and I'm rolling 300.
A couple bumpers.
You
Even with the bumpers, you ain't bowling.
So Luis Perez, a big-time bowler. I mean, this guy was outstanding. He considered turning pro as a pro bowler. Of course, a pro quarterback is where life took him as he connects with Canelo. Like, are you to the point where you understand, like, bowling vernacular and jargon?
Do I know what a strike and a spare is? Do I know
what about
a
a turkey, a double
in a row?
Come on. Frame, a pocket, a split? You understand that kind of stuff?
I don't know what a pocket is.
Okay.
And he bowling
what about bedpost, 7-10 split?
Y'all are haters. I'm going to film it and show you.
He's an AI.
Snap.
False start. 66, the offense. 5-yard penalty. So second down.
We're getting closer to Jordan's number. 66.
Oh, listen, if we took if we go to a bowling alley this afternoon with Perez and Jordan, I think we would have to handicap. I'd have to get Aaron Dolan involved here, but we would have to handicap that thing. I can't even imagine the gap in score
80
that would be there. He would have a clean game. He would have no open frames. You would be a mess. Your score would look like Swiss cheese just shotgun with little disaster marks throughout it. But I love the confidence. I love the confidence.
Us quarterbacks are always overconfident.
Exactly. So you would roll a what? Give me the number. You'd roll a what?
I mean, I'm walking off the bus at 220.
It's got no shot.
All day, every day.
Zero chance.
Hold on. All right, here we go. 6-2. Here we go.
7-10. Luis Perez says, the reason I went to football is I said to myself, I can still bowl when I'm 50 years old. I can't play football when I'm 50. Here he is on 2nd and 10, and a great strike to Sal Canella. First down, Arlington.
Boy, watch how wide these safeties are in a cover 2 look. And Perez is going to get Canella right down the middle. All he's got to worry about is that middle linebacker, Tavante Beckett. And put it right over the top of Beckett on that one.
22 yards. Perez steps up and just checks underneath to Hunter, who wiggles his way ahead to the 25-yard line. Final minute here of this first half. Already a 2-touchdown lead.
I love hearing the microphones because we just heard Perez say, "Hey, Day-Day," and he turned around and he threw it to him on a check down.
2nd and 3, Perez, quick strike, Vaughns, and it's another first down. Look at how he's managing these final seconds.
Dixie, right here.
And notice,
62.
Chuck Long's not calling anything. Luis Perez calls about 90% of plays on all their 2-minute. Much more efficient, and Long trusts him.
They have that one timeout remaining. Perez just throws it away as he was being taken to the ground by Prince Emili.
Yeah, Emili does a great job working on Dorenzo right here. Perez trying to step up in the pocket. He's done a couple times successfully already today. And you can hear him navigating all the traffic, giving routes, giving protection, changing things.
13 seconds remain in this first half, and all the receivers moved before the ball was snapped.
I'll start 80.
While the clock was stopped, false start. 80, the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
On the snap, we're okay. On the snap, we're okay. It's on the snap.
So they're not going to do a 10-second runoff?
No.
Dixie
Okay.
ATL. Dixie ATL.
You can hear Arlington wanting the confirmation that there isn't a 10-second runoff, so 13 seconds remain.
Still got that timeout in their pocket.
Second down. Jordan Williams is wearing that True Vision chest cam, the linebacker for San Antonio. Here's Perez. Final seconds of the first half. Remember, they still have that one timeout as he gets it to Day-Day Hunter. Clock stops with 7 seconds. Beckett with the tackle.
Just a great job of not forcing it downfield where you didn't need to. Had a couple routes going towards the end zone. You got a field goal in your back pocket. Just check it down, pick up a couple more yards, make it a little easier.
Perez in his first half, 21 of 24 for 225 yards. Excellent first half for Perez.
9 different receivers as well. I mean, he's spreading it around, just the epitome of taking what the defense gives you.
35-yard field goal attempt for Lucas Haversick to try to close out this first half. Good lift and right through.
No, I was just telling Sal.
20-3 Arlington. Haversick, field goal attempt. Kicker who has talked about the brotherhood of this locker room, that spends a lot of time together, playing video games, hanging out. That brings him such confidence, and with that, he has had an outstanding season as he adds to this Arlington lead.
The kicking talent, you already mentioned it, is exceptional. When you think about it, there's only 32 NFL teams. There's only 32 starting kickers in the world that play in the NFL. So if you're top 50 in the world, you're going to fall at some point in this league. And so you got a lot of talent. Rodrigo Blankenship, a guy that's going to get another NFL opportunity.
There's no doubt about that.
No doubt. He's been exceptional all year.
He will be in action in the postseason. St. Louis hosting DC next week. We will have the Panthers and the Stallions in a real good one on ABC. And the conference championship game in Sherton with a decent return for the clock to hit zeros in the first half that had all 5 Arlington drives making it to the red zone. A.J. Hunter had the rushing touchdown. Of course, Perez himself had a rushing touchdown, the star quarterback for Arlington. 21 of 24 for 225 yards in that first half.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, he has diced this San Antonio defense up, done it without a run game. And they're playing like a team that was so close to a playoff berth.
20-3, Arlington looking to close out the season on a high note. We'll give you highlights from around the UFL Week 10 when we come back to San Antonio. Arlington Renegades out in front 20-3 as we are inside the Alamo Dome here in San Antonio. Luis Perez with a touchdown run, rare for him. Excellent passing in the first half, and Day Hunter with a touchdown run as well. Let's get to the field with Tom Luginbill.
Well, thank you, Tess. I think coming out in the second half here for Arlington, defensively, they got to take away the first read. Take away Kellen Mond's first throw, make him go to his second and third progression. Hopefully, you'll then get some pressure. Defensively, force field goals in the red zone. San Antonio's got the worst red zone offense in the league. Don't allow them to score touchdowns despite them maintaining drives. And finally, eliminate the package offense. It's not working. There's been negative plays, a turnover, as well as penalties. Sam, what do you got on the other side?
On the other side, there was definitely a sense of frustration. The defense was talking about it feels like it's routes on air. It feels like 7-on-7. There's no pressure on the quarterback. There's also no one around the receivers. So they talked about for the linebackers to get more depth. Start playing the pass first and then rally to the run. On the offensive side of the ball, it was a similar message. We have to get out of our own way. But head coach Peyton Pardee, the lasting message when he left the locker room was this: keep fighting, keep believing. This may be our last 30 minutes. Let's finish strong.
In fact, Sam, we have access to what Coach Peyton Pardee just said to his team in the locker room. Take a listen.
Keep believing in each other, keep believing in yourself, and attitude. It's going to start with us. Believe first. Let's finish this thing out the right way. We all good on that? Yes, sir. Keep fighting your tails off. We got one more half to go in this season. I love you guys. Let's rock and roll and make this our best half.
He's got a nice way about him as a young leader, as a coach in a season. It's obviously been greatly challenging. Remember, Wade Phillips was the head coach, had to take a leave of absence. Situation, we told you 4 games this year. There were 1-possession games. They only were able to grab one of those. But Arlington, one of the more talented teams in the league, that went 1-5 in 1-possession games. They want to finish 500. They have a chance to do that here. Our progressive first half stats shape up this way, Jordan.
Yeah, really lopsided because of some of the turnovers. The ball hit the ground too frequently on both sides. But for the Brahmas, I mentioned it in the first half, just 25 rushing yards. This is an offense that needs to be balanced. So although the score is 20-3 right now, they need to come out on this opening drive, run the football, ball control, try to put together a long drive here so they can try to regain some momentum. You're not going to get it all back, all 17 points in one big play.
Peyton Pardee, the offensive play caller for San Antonio, as well as being the head coach.
Who's the Z? Yeah. The hut. 180. What's up?
Start off with Corbin on the ground, former Florida State Seminole star running back, tackled by Bars and Payne. Meanwhile, Marvin Sanders, the defensive coordinator for Arlington.
Let's go for the draw.
Yeah, number 1 defense in the UFL is playing like it.
Left, firm, blue F2, white stick, on 1, ready?
Hey! This is a pass, though. Be patient. Be patient for a sense. It's a pass.
Second down, Mond with a man trying to take him down, and he had no choice there as Johnson was right on top of him.
Yeah, he's trying to go to his tight end, Stellanos, but watch the linebacker, I believe it's Donald Payne, get right underneath the stick route. That's where Mond's going to go with his eyes. This ball's supposed to be out of his hand quickly. Payne does a great job of closing the gap there, spooked Mond a little bit. And then a scramble when your offensive line knows the ball should be out quick is never going to work, and Mond just tried to dirt the ball there and ended up getting a flag and intentional ground. It's just really tough on the offensive line. They're expecting that ball to be out. Should be 2 seconds.
Right,
They're not expecting you to scramble there.
14:05.
They did call intentional grounding.
Correction, it is please reset the 14 minutes, 5 seconds.
Okay, well, we better get Tristan ready. For Brad? Okay, and then Tristan better be ready because I'm not going for it on my own minus 11.
180. What's up?
They go with the tunnel screen that Ward is able to make the most of. Greg Ward Jr., former star quarterback at Houston, pro receiver now.
You heard Peyton Pardee say he's not going for it on his own minus 11. Picked up a good chunk of yards there, but it'll be the punt team.
Yes, and it's Tristan Viscano who's out there to punt. The place kicker and kickoff specialist instead of Brad Wing. And it actually takes a fortunate bounce as San Antonio had to turn to their place kicker there to punt the ball away.
We're going to see Luis Perez again. I think a lot of conversation this week was, we're going to see Holton Allers, the backup quarterback, in more of a substantial role, not just those packages that really, to Luke's point, haven't worked tonight. They said, no, this is Luis's team. He's still got a lot of stuff he wants to prove, and he has been perfect so far today.
Let's go, boys. Hey, we're going dump left, gecko 4. On top, ready?
So we just heard that Brad Wing, the starting punter, is dealing with a hamstring, and that is why Vizcaino came in to punt. Hunter trying to work his way ahead for a gain of just 2 yards. Jordan Williams, leading tackler,
Dixie
coming up
Pacer
with
7, tempo.
There's Chuck Long, play caller.
Hey. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Second and 7, Hunter again. He is tackled by Isaiah Buggs.
Say 3rd and 4. Yeah, 3rd and 4.
Will Reed, the defensive coordinator for San Antonio.
Done.
Go, Nate, go. Away. 3 check. Away. 3 check.
See if Will Reed dials up some pressure here to try to force the issue. Doesn't look like they're going to. They're going to play coverage here on 3rd and medium.
Perez on 3rd down. Ran for a touchdown earlier. This is a little more of what we're used to seeing with Luis Perez as a runner.
Yeah, this is not a slide. It's not a. He just threw up the white flag.
Yeah,
like, I surrender.
It's a crumple. Yeah. a pre-tackle crumple.
It's a smart man. You know, I felt it when I hit my 30s. You know, the body just doesn't respond to even yard work, let alone getting hit by 300-pounders.
It looks like a slinky. I see you on Instagram posting a lot of your home improvement yard work.
Oh, yeah, I do a lot. Oh, yeah. I'm a DIY kind of guy.
I could see you being a DIY.
Overconfident. Feel like I can do everything, even though
we know that based on your bowling hype.
You know what I learned quickly?
What's that?
Don't pour your own concrete. Pay somebody to do that.
No, that can go south really quickly. Sean Fresh on the return out to the 25. You gotta let the stuff set. You have to know the right chemistry to it. The humidity, all of it. We'll get more into Jordan pouring concrete when we return here to San Antonio. Well, how about what the Pacers were able to do last night, Jordan? We got ourselves an NBA Finals that is all set. After Siakam at 31, Halliburton did his thing, and the Pacers took care of the Knicks 125-108. So now Thursday night, it all begins right here on ABC at 8:30. The Thunder take it on the Pacers, and Game 1 coverage begins with NBA Countdown at 8 Eastern. Aaron Dolan, I am curious on this NBA Finals, the betting numbers. Where is everything?
Well, OKC is currently a heavy -700 favorite to win the NBA Finals. This is the second largest favorite role that we've seen in the last 20 years. Wow. And if you're trying to find other value and you go to the MVP market, for example, SGA is -650 to win Finals MVP. As for the Pacers, sitting at +500, if they go on to win the NBA Finals, it would be the largest upset in the last 50 years. Like you guys had mentioned, Game 1 is on Thursday. Right now, OKC is laying 9.5 points, and we're seeing the total at 230.5. And over the next couple of days, we'll see some player props become available.
Yeah, Aaron, I saw something where if you bet on the Pacers preseason, you could get them at 50-1 to win the NBA championship. 50-1.
That's correct.
The NBA Finals now.
Long shot ticket. Hopefully that'll cash for someone.
Isn't that fun?
Did you put money on it?
No, I don't play. Of course, I don't do that sort of thing, Joy. If I go to Saratoga in the summertime, maybe I'll play a little here and there. But
H jet sweep, Boston H lead or F lead on 1 ready.
I don't know why you'd make that assumption then. 2nd and 6. And a tap pass on the jet motion award, and a flag comes down at the end.
Flag down.
Referee has face mask, number 91 of the defense. Is that the end of the run? Did we get back to the line of scrimmage? We're going previous spot.
Behind the line of scrimmage.
So we're going previous spot. Personal foul, face mask, 91 of the defense. 15-yard penalty with an automatic first down.
Yeah, Inek Chukwu is going to get the face mask award there. He knew it too. He gave him a little hug right after. It's got that hand caught. You know, that's the first touch for Greg Ward, though. And Peyton Pardee told us when we talked to him this week, we got to get him involved a lot and early. The former quarterback at Houston has played a ton of NFL football, 40 games in his career over a handful of years, and just haven't been able to get him touches here in this game. And really haven't had a ton of offensive plays in general.
First down, Corbin on the run, a stiff arm, and tries to get to the edge before he is forced out. Had a strong career at Florida State. Started for Texas A&M.
Right, Denver stare, key 1, X, and wide bunch right, Denver stare, key 1, X slant.
Here we go. A wide bunch right, Denver stare, Z key 1, on 1, ready.
Jake, you got a 3-step slant. Edie, you got a key.
Oh, God. Look at the box.
Hey, go to 18. 18.
2nd and 5. Corbin breaks free as he dives his way towards the 30-yard line.
Watch Sam Tecklenburg, the center. He's going to help out with this block and then climb to the 2nd level to get Donald Payne. That's a great job by the savvy center. Another guy who played a lot of NFL football in his career. 17 games played with Panthers. Played college at Baylor under Matt Rule.
Corbin again! Spinning his way towards the 16, and only the 2nd time that San Antonio's been in Arlington territory today.
Yeah, this is who they've needed to be, right? They need to get the run game going so they can RPO off it, they can quick game off it. But a really good job Peyton Pardee has this drive of staying disciplined, using tempo to try to wear down this Arlington defense. And
see the wrist wrap of Corbin coming loose. He's not doing rhythmic gymnastics. That's his tape job on his right hand coming loose there after the 13-yard run. Mons, he keeps it and dives ahead to the 13.
Aiden. 12. Y'all have Cube over
All right, so I'm with quarterback Jarrett Garantano. Jarrett, what's the play call and what do we expect to see after this?
Right now we're in 12 personnel, 2x2. We have our running back going on a corner route. Backside we're running a levels concept. We should be good to go. Man to man, corners over. Running back has to win. Does he win? No, he didn't win on that. We're asking for pass interferences. I didn't even see the play.
Awesome. So we're going to stay with you. So talk to us about what's this next play call when you hear it, and then also walk us through the play.
11. All right, let's go here. Okay.
Let's go, 20 seconds.
Yep.
18.
All right, let's go. Bunch left. All right. Gray, 6 Fiesta. Z shallow. Bunch left. Sorry, bunch right. Gray, 6. Timeout.
They're going to have to call timeout.
Trying to go to 4 verts right here. Thinking that it's man-to-man, we're going to switch verts. Thinking about we're going to get the backside over route for a touchdown, but he couldn't get the play call in, so now we got a timeout.
All right, so Jared, I'm going to stay with you as we're going for this next play. We hear the coach talking, but you do some quarterback training on your own. What would your conversation be right now in the red zone, 3rd down? What's that conversation for you like?
Right now, 20-3, 3rd and 6. Thinking about not taking a sack here. We're in field goal range. Worst comes to worst, we're down 17, so we're thinking that it's 4th down territory. I tell them to protect the ball, take the check down if we have it, try to move the sticks. If we have an opportunity for a touchdown, obviously go for it.
Copy. So we're going to stay with you. So get us the next play call, and also talk us through what the play is going to be.
Like I said, so 3rd and 4 to 6, they major in cover 1. Right now, he switched the play call to a draw play. So now we're thinking that it's in 4th down territory. If we can get the 4th and 2, we're probably going to go for it. Trying to pick up some healthy yards here. We'll see if we can or not. Let's see.
So Detroit, that's QB draw, running back draw?
Running back draw.
And John Lovett is the running back.
Pass, 2x2 open. They're going to probably roll down the single high, it looks like. 4-2 box. Let's see, they're blitzing opposite. Come on.
Here is the draw, and they ate it right up. Lovett tackled for a loss.
Playing cover 1 on 3rd and 6, though. Probably should have stayed with our play. But
Yeah, they ended up bringing the pressure to the draw side, which makes it really tough. Linebacker Loops sitting right there in the lap of John Lovett. And again, that play call was to just pick up a few, try to get into a 4th and short so you can feel good about calling a play and maybe going for it, but is the right call here on 4th and 10. Just taking the points, try to make this a 14-point game.
See if they can cut into this lead with Vizcaino. 35-yard field goal attempt as they tried coming off the edge, and he puts it right through. 20-6 is our score now. As this presentation of the UFL will continue after these messages and a word from our ABC stations. Hey, we're just a couple weeks away. The UFL Championship presented by Underdog. Saturday night, June 14th, right here on ABC at 8 p.m. Eastern. And it was announced this week. Special performance at halftime, the Black Moon. You can go to ufl.com/tickets as they start just $29. We got a good conference championships next week, and the Black Moods performing live on ABC at halftime of the UFL Championship presented by Underdog. I could have seen you being the lead singer of a band. You just have that way about you, that presence, that look. You like the Black Moods?
Oh yeah, I'm an axe man. I slap the bass a little bit too.
Josh Kennedy, Chico Diaz, Jordan Hoffman, members of the Black Moods. Maybe you and JoJo should do like a duo, a little duet.
I can play an instrument. Actually, I can't, but singing is definitely not my strong suit.
JoJo surely can sing. She's very talented.
She thinks she can.
Thinks. Jones on the return. Stephen Jones run out near the 30-yard line. Luke's.
Thank you, Tess. Here with Holton Allers. We're going to have him walk us through this next offensive series as he waits to get the play call right here. What do we have?
We got double right. We're going to just go wagon 5, just run to the left, pulling a tackle, and then we got a Z glance RPO behind it. So he'll read the safety. The safety stays back. We'll just hand it off.
So on the handoff, with the clock rules in this league, it seems like you guys have relied pretty heavily on the run game so far in the third quarter.
Yeah, I mean, we knew going into it, we ran it really well week 1 versus these guys, so we knew we'd be able to run the ball. So we'll see RPO here. See a safety over top. I can watch on the screen. Yeah, wide safety, just hand the ball off. So
12, 8 Dixie
12
right,
personnel,
3-5-1, all hitches, Y Hank.
All hitches, Y Hank.
Right,
so we're just going all hitches here.
All hitches,
Tight end's going to run a Hank route over the ball, just old school. So just read it out. Hitches pre-snap, you should know who you're throwing the ball to, and if not, just read it Hank over the ball to kind of check down.
Copy that.
We'll see what they go. 8 Dixie, the running back. Yeah, there we go. We're getting him set now. Let's see.
Nice and easy pitch and catch here, right?
Should be, yeah. We'll see.
2nd and 9. Let's see if that pitch and catch happens. It does with Winstead.
Receiver, let's go. Might go in here. I gotta be right.
Holton Allers mentioning there's my college receiver.
Yeah.
Both
he also said he may go in here, so let's wait and see. What do you got? What's personnel package? All right, see ya.
There he goes.
Duff right, hack, Gator 5. Duff right, hack, Gator 5.
Well, now you can talk to Luis Perez, Luke's.
What do we got package-wise here, Luis?
We got a quarterback run here, so come on, get it off. Yeah, we're good. Halfback away. Let's see, come on. Read that end.
3rd and 2.
Nice.
Holton, a lot of traffic. He was bottled up.
Heavy box, right?
Heavy box, yeah. Dang it.
Boy, Rashard Lawrence once again just blew this one up right down the A-gap. If not, there is a big lane there. If Lawrence isn't right in Aller's face, that could have been a big play.
Guys, what did I tell you about the package offense?
Exactly.
Too many negatives, guys. They're having such success with their base package. Doesn't seem to make a lot of sense to me right now.
Well, it's predictable, right? They don't throw the football out of it very often at all. Allers did have a touchdown pass last week, but it was on like the 1 or 2 yard line. More of a gimmick. Heavy run out of that. They stack the box. Just really tough to find lanes.
Marquette King Veteran NFL punter with a knuckler downfield. Of course, we'll be broadcasting the playoffs next week. Michigan-Birmingham, I'm really looking forward to that game on ABC next Sunday.
Well, yeah, we know how much that matchup means to Michigan, to Mike Nolan. They're 0-6. Last game was close, but they didn't have Bryce Perkins. Michigan is going to have one of the best players in the UFL back and healthy. That game is going to be completely different than what we saw a couple weeks ago.
It's interesting that we've had all 4 teams locked in for a few weeks now, and the mindset and the approach that you have to take of managing the end of the season knowing that you're already in. This is the bracket for the UFL playoffs.
Yeah, well, for that example, Bryce Perkins, he's been healthy to play, but, you know, when you sit for a couple weeks, you still have that same juice. You know, DC rested Jordan Ta'amu last week, so how these guys respond after a week off or a few weeks off is going to be really interesting.
Well, and the familiarity too, guys, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they've played each other each of the last 2 weeks, all 4 of those teams.
There's Perez looking at the tablet.
H-drag, tusk left, flop, gray check, Z-Uno, H-drag.
Here we go, a tusk left flop, great check, Z, yeah, tusk left flop, great check, Z-Uno, H-drag, on 1, ready?
Man in his face as he throws it and gets it complete to Kirkland, who turns the corner for a first down. You mentioned Jordan Ta'amu, Bryce Perkins. Flag is down at the end of that, and that leads us to thinking about the conversation for the MVP this year in the UFL. Now, this is according to you, Jordan.
Yeah, and I think Jordan Ta'amu is running away with it just because Bryce Perkins missed so much time. When Perkins was healthy, that was a really close race because Perkins has been so dynamic. Ta'amu has just been so consistent. And I threw Max Duggan in there because he came off the bench when Manny Wilkins went down with the Achilles injury, and he has been spectacular. Right? He's an unfinished product, but he has been the most valuable player for St. Louis. I don't think he'll win the MVP for the UFL, but he deserves to be in that conversation for how well he's played with his arm and with his legs.
Unnecessary roughness call against Arlington is what happened on the field. Yeah, and with Max Duggan, I think, listen, if you would have told St. Louis where things were after those first few weeks and then all of a sudden the injury at quarterback, that's a great coaching job. Great by Duggan, but also great by the staff.
Yeah,
they were able to change course.
Has done a sensational job.
No penalty.
Shannon Harris as well. Remember, he's the interim for DC.
Well, Shannon Harris has had an outstanding season.
Fantastic.
By the defense.
With unique
The
circumstances.
play resulted
just
in a
before
first
the season
down,
started.
1st and 10, San Antonio.
So they're picking up the penalty flag.
Wide bunch left, Broncos air, key 1, Z slant.
Bronco stare, X key 1, Z slant, on 1, ready?
There's Lovett straight ahead for a yard.
But one thing we really haven't seen at all from the Brahmas is pushing the ball downfield. So far today, it's been a lot of ball control
D's
passes
pump,
for Kellen
tight,
Mond.
red check, XO, D's pump.
D's pump, so I believe that's
Red
going to be a
check,
slant and
Expo,
go. I
D's
think I remember
pump.
D's earlier was a slant for these guys, so this is going to be some kind of double move. Here's going to be the shot play that I was just mentioning. Let's see if they get the right look to let it fly.
Mon being chased back and then has to go across the grain and just get it underneath to Lovett, who is met immediately.
Yeah, pocket just broke down there for Mond. Safety was over the top of the double move, didn't have anything, did a good job of just trying to make something out of nothing. That's the thing about taking shots against this defense. They're so good at rushing the passer with just 4.
Spread. Flip blue check,
It's really hard to get enough time.
Spread, blue check, flow, Z-Uno, X drag, on 1, ready? Horn. Here we go, Todd. 180, watch up.
3rd down and 8. A-gap pressure gets picked up by the running back. And it'll be 4th down.
A little miscommunication there between Marquez Stevenson and Mons. You saw him kind of mouth there. It was man press, which as a quarterback, when you got man press, you're thinking a go route. If you had that off zone or bail coverage, that's when he'd turn up on that stop route. So just not on the same page on that 3rd down shot play.
There's been some frustration on the sideline between Stevenson and some of the coaching staff of, okay, getting the correct play call and running the right route.
Vizcaino is forced into action as a punter and hits an umbrella punt that's fielded at the 26-yard line by Price. And Price returns it to the 35. Let's bring in Aaron. What are you tracking, Aaron?
Well, you can currently live bet the Renegades' next drive outcome. You got 4 options, and they've been really filling up the stat sheet for today. All 4 of these options have cashed at least once. Now, we didn't see a punt in the first half, but we have seen 2 in the second half of this game. And keep in mind, Arlington, that offense has been getting hot over the last 4 weeks with 11 total touchdowns. So, again, this is available right now to live bet on ESPN Bet.
First 5 Arlington drives all reached the red zone. And 20 points put up all in that first half. Last couple drives have been 3 and outs if you're thinking about what Aaron put forth. Perez downfield and gets it complete to Sal Cannella.
This is just such a good throw by Perez. He's going to have a linebacker right here underneath Cannella. He's got to get the ball up and over, but not make it hang so long that that safety can make a play on it. Cannella down after that hit.
Yeah, watch the end of this play, this hit he takes right there.
Yeah.
That was Henry Black who came in as Cannella is slowly getting to his feet.
Good to see him pop up and walk off on his own power. That's a guy that I just keep scratching my head. Why has he not stuck in the NFL?
You know, I feel the same way in terms of production. And then you see him sort of that tweener size, right? Because he goes about 225, but he's so productive. It's about fitting into where he could be.
It's got to be the right scheme, right? Because he's not an inline guy. He's not a great blocker at the point of attack. He can do enough to get it done, but he is such a weapon in the pass game. I got to think after the production he's had, he's going to get another opportunity in camp in the NFL this year.
Now, this is fun to see our True Vision chest cams on each side of the ball, the running back versus the linebacker. And here is Hunter, who's wearing that chest cam as you see it in real time on the left side of your screen. And just listen to that. We'll replay it for you, but
Day audio on that, just the rumbling and bumbling.
Day Hunter wearing that True Vision chest cam.
Hey, run, Day. Go for right off. Colt 3, F bubble access. Until ready. Gotta go. Let's go.
You know, live access right from the huddle, right into position after he just went for 16 yards. Perez to the outside to Payton. Meanwhile, Jordan Williams, the leading tackler, is wearing the True Vision chest cam. On the other side for San Antonio as we come down to the end of the 3rd quarter. And Arlington trying to finish up the season at 500 if they can hold on here with a 2-touchdown lead on the road in San Antonio. Well, that's a real Brahma right there. We got the San Antonio Brahmas here, and then somebody on the crew went out and shot this. Freddie Clow is amazing, our ops producer, who, by the way, is going on an incredible vacation. We thank him for his service over the course of the last 10 weeks. But that's the real deal right there. The very unique breed of American beef cattle originating in India and then imported to the UK and South America and then North America. I mean, that's a real deal right there.
Wow, I had no idea you had such extensive knowledge.
I study this stuff all the time. We go down rabbit holes when we come to town.
Brahma holes? We don't, no, they don't have
that'd be even bigger, Sam. Sam, you're a Texas guy. You know all this stuff. You're a Longhorn.
I am a Longhorn, but there are differences between Brahmas and Longhorns. I don't know them, unfortunately.
Perez trying to open up this fourth quarter with a strike to the end zone, but Sean Fresh had coverage on Tyler Vaughn's.
Yeah, really the first vertical shot here to Tyler Vaughn's. That back shoulder connection has been so good. This time Perez trying to put it over the top, just over the shoulder of Sean Fresh, in great position there. And I mean, Vaughn still almost came down with it.
Third and 2. Perez trying to find free space to get that first down, but Marcus Haynes is there on the tackle.
Boy, I've said his name a lot. Rashard Lawrence here on a little bit of a stunt's going to start here and loop around. Again, coverage on the back end is what makes this happen. There's nowhere to go with the football for Perez. Again, Lawrence provides that pressure, and anytime you're going up against Perez, you just want to make him move. Right, for Bryce Perkins, you don't want to give him that lane to take off and run. For Perez, you want to move him off his spot, let the rest of your team rally for the tackle. And that's exactly what they did there.
Haversick in to try to add to the lead. Whistles blow.
Before the snap, coach would like to challenge the last play. He didn't say what. He just threw the red flag at my feet.
Oh, so we're going to get a little bit of a red flag challenge here.
T right behind you. Right behind you, RT. Yep,
38, number 8.
Was held? Okay.
35.
On the pass play.
Yes.
That was the receiver that was. Okay.
Could hear the audio from our line judge, Catherine Conti.
Arlington is challenging.
Is this number 8 at the bottom? That's who I have, number 8.
That's the audio from
yes,
the
the bottom receiver,
Center.
correct? Okay, that's what I'm looking at, the
Dean
bottom
Blandino.
receiver. And so, let me know if we have a close-up. It's tough to tell what's happening. There is some contact, but I don't see a grab or a hook. I'm looking at it, Frank. It's number 8, their receiver number 8. Here's a close-up of it. This is what TV is showing. Again, tough to tell if we've got a grab or a hook, but at that point, if I go back to where the quarterback is, we got to check to see if he's already on the ground at that point. So now when I look back, even if there is a hold at that point, the quarterback's already on the ground. So after review, the ruling on the field stands. There is no holding. Challenge unsuccessful and charge a timeout.
During play, there is no holding by the defense. Arlington is charged with their first timeout at half, and they lose their super challenge for the remainder of the game. It is 4th down.
Yeah, remember, without Bob Stoops, that was Chuck Long on the right. The ops coordinator is the acting head coach, so he's got to notify defensive coordinator Marvin Sanders to throw that flag. And just a little discrepancy. There was a tug and a hold, but was Perez already going down? Is kind of what Dean Blandino was looking like. You know what I love about the challenges? They play it in the entire stadium.
I love that.
At home, you don't know that, but the audio and the video is going out for all the fans in their seats to see Dean Blandino work through the semantics of that call there.
The level of transparency in the UFL with the officiating is superb, and serving the fan equally so. Haversick with the field goal attempt, and with that, he pushes the lead for Arlington to 17 again, as this presentation of the UFL will continue after these messages and a word from our ABC stations. Arlington up 23-6 as we look at game flow, brought to you by Progressive.
Yeah, it's been the Luis Perez show with Day-Day Hunter mixed in there. You see the touchdown run early to get him on the board. And then the run from Luis Perez showing off the speed to extend the lead. His efficiency as a thrower today has been on absolute display. there's the Brahmas closing the lead to 14 before Arlington extended it back.
Luis Perez with 280 yards. Only 4 incompletions on the day. Off the bounce, this is Sheridan on the return. Last day of the regular season in the UFL, and then come next Sunday, this is a great setup for the postseason. The 4 best teams, USFL Conference, right here on ABC. That conference championship game will be Michigan against Birmingham, and then DC and St. Louis in the evening. And that includes, of course, Jordan Ta'amu, who's thrown for over 2,100 yards. Earlier in the day, we will get a chance to see Bryce Perkins, who's had an outstanding season as a dual threat quarterback for Michigan. Corbin struggling to get back to the line of scrimmage. Sam?
So I'm here with Jared Garantano again. And Jared, you talked about wanting to get into this when you're done, getting into media and also giving people an insight. So we're going to get a chance to give people an insight into what's going on, not just in the mind of a quarterback, but also what's going on the field as you hear the play. So tell us the play and then walk us through what's happening.
Right now we're 2nd and 10. We're going to be in 2-by-2 open, wide short motion. We have a full field progression right now, so he's going to start left to right. Right now, 2nd and 10, we're just trying to find a completion. We're down by 17, so if we can take this quick out outside, if not, he's going to progress on to middle read. Good. Perfect.
So that's the quick out. And so now you got 3rd and short, it looks like. What would you, I know we're going to get a call. What would you call right now?
3rd and short, we're expecting man-to-man. We definitely can't run outside zone. We got to run inside zone if anything. I think we're in 4-down territory now, down 17 with 12 minutes left.
So what's the call here? It sounded like a...
We have inside zone with backside with the tight end ceiling opposite. It looks like last time we had this, they played cover 0 to it. It looks like they're about to play cover 0 again. 5-man front. This is going to be tough. We got to get it downhill.
3rd and 1, Corbin. Well, that's going to be close based on that spin.
One of the best players on our football team.
Johnson with the tackle.
That should have been a loss of 3 right there, but he's able to pick it up.
So say that one more time about Jay Sean.
Jay Sean's one of our best players on the team, if not the best player on our team. Oh, this is awesome. We got a double move here. We're going 7-man pass pro with this one. Taking a shot down the field. We're going to basically all game right here out of this 2-by-2. We've been running our 10-yard shutdown. Right now, he's going to run a pump off of it. Press might not even be on. He's going to throw this up to Jacob Harris, so go beat him. Hold the safety.
He's got a lot of time. Incomplete, looking for Harris.
Absolute dime of a football. Challenger threw a seed of a football, and
Boy, you heard Garantano say right there, what a seed of a football. What does that mean? He planted it right in his hands, and that's one that Jacob Harris has got to come down with.
Playing a great game right now.
Hey, it's funny. I'm sitting here next to Jared. He said, hey, man, maybe I wasn't meant for TV because this isn't going the
facial expressions. Maybe it's better if you guys are watching the game and not looking at me. I didn't know. I said it's lost in the lights. That's tough. I think we have another full field progression right here. We'll see. We had tight end over, cross, option with the running back. Good sit down. Good. 3rd and 6, 3rd and 5. Probably expecting cover 1 here again.
Expecting cover 1. What's your thought process? Then talk us through the play.
Let's see our menu. We're either going to go mesh here or we're going to go our 92, another variation of mesh.
11, 11, 11. On the Johnny. Sin, bunch right. Sin, bunch left. Goal, 93, X corner, wide shoot. On the Johnny. Sin, bunch left. Goal,
so we're going another variation of mesh. It's going to be a full field progression with this one. We're going to start with the high to low on the smash concept outside. If not, we have meshes coming into his vision.
Who should we be looking at?
We should be looking outside in. Right now it's man-to-man. We might have something over the ball. Free play.
Free play. Oh, they're going to blow it dead. They're going to say there was some movement. That's going to be against San Antonio.
Also arranque, número 17.
I have some bias right now towards my team right now. I won't be this bad with the media, I promise.
No, this is great. Okay, so now you go from 3rd and 5 or 3rd and 6 to 3rd and 11.
We've already ran kind of all of our third and longs. Unfortunately, we've been in this position way too much.
11-11.
We got to try to at least get half though in this situation.
Let's go here.
I would go quick.
Okay. Trips left up, Teal, double chip, X Indiana, Z grab. Trips left up, Teal, double chip, X Indiana, Z grab.
How is that on us? They were in the neutral zone. Man, it looks like coach might have to throw the challenge flag here.
They called it on the receiver, guys.
It sounds like they called it on the receiver.
Yeah, no, we're gonna go dagger here by the top of the screen.
3rd and 11. Kellen Mond looking for anything downfield, incomplete.
It's tough on 3rd and long. You're gonna give that team's not very happy. We don't really have anything underneath for him, but another punt here. That's tough.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Jarrett.
Sorry for the bias here.
This is great.
Love it. Yeah, and just to clean up, it did look like it was Arlington jumping, but Greg Ward on the outside at receiver flinched first, so that was the correct call.
Did Greg come open? Really?
So Vizcaino on to punt again. As it's a watermelon wobbler that takes a bounce inside the 25-yard line. And a flag is down back at the 31.
Holding kicking team number 46. Kicking team number 46.
Okay, holding kicking team number 46. We're going to tack that on to the end. Yes. Going to kick holding kicking team number 46. 10-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play. 1st and 10 for Arlington. Timeout on the field.
.9:17 remaining in the final week of the regular season for these two teams. 17-point lead for Arlington.
If you like the hard hits of the UFL, then stick around. You are going to love the Women's College World Series. We have got some of the best hitters in the country. Here's what's at stake today. Tennessee and UCLA squaring off. The Bruins trying to get to their 15th semifinal in program history, while the Lady Vols trying to get to their 2nd semifinal in the last 3 seasons. And yes, we have Carlin Pickett. She threw the fastest pitch in softball history going against the Bats of UCLA. Stick around. See you next, Joe Tess.
I can't wait, Holly. That's going to be a good one. UCLA 55 wins on the year. Now, so she has the fastest pitch in softball history.
Striking me out easy.
I mean,
I got no shot.
I know you were hyping yourself up and touting yourself as a bowler.
That fastball riser.
But as softball,
no shot.
And the distance and the speed and the heat, you're acknowledging you have no shot.
Yes.
And I acknowledge you're an amazing athlete.
Oh, yeah.
You're a natural-born winner.
But I'm getting struck out by 3, swinging real quick.
Yeah.
I'll look at the first one and be like, oh.
Ball smoke is coming out of the catcher's mitt, and you're just swinging. Yeah. Tony Jones, as Arlington looks to bring this thing home, Lugs.
All right, here with Willie Taylor. We've got you circled up here on that 3rd and 11, and Coach Hayes just yelled at you, said, hey, man, keep coming, keep coming. Why were you kind of in no man's land?
Oh, man, so we got a book stunt going on right here on 3rd and long. And the ends, we got contained responsibility. So pretty much, they come out with this tight split by the receiver right here. And got a little chip right there, just trying to knock me inside. And I kind of went back inside, just kind of trying to keep the quarterback contained. And we got a good rush over here by our tackles. They're coming. He comes free. I just got to keep going upfield right here. Get that guy contained. We're still able to get some pressure on him, but, I got to keep going. And then, that's an easy sack for one of us. So, yeah.
Good stuff, Willie. Thank you.
Right on. No problem.
Tess, by the way, that's an EKU colonel.
Oh, is he really?
Oh, yes, he is.
How about that? Eastern Kentucky, great program. Willie Taylor, his 3rd year with Arlington. Of course, Lugs' son is an outstanding player for EKU.
Hey, Zay. Hey, Zay, come here. Hey, come here. We're going 7,
7, triple right tight, 51, X swirl, F hammer, alert for pump. Also ready? Watch it. Gotta go, let's go.
So after the penalty, it's a 2nd and 17. Perez steps up, had pressure as he throws, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, you heard the pump in the play call there, just trying to get a little double move on the safety right here. Luis trying to hang on and wait for it, just steps up into some trouble. That ball comes out a little funky because of the contact. Trying to find Isaiah Winstead downfield. Another big hit on Luis Perez.
Dropping out.
Third and 17. Going to go underneath to Jones. And Jones will be brought down well short of the line to gain. So under 7.5 minutes to play.
Got a flag down.
Flag is down at the end of the play.
Blindside block, number 86. During the play, right? During the play. Blindside block if they do they want the penalty or they want to decline to go to 4th. Blindside block.
Ron, you got it live ball or dead ball?
I got it live ball.
What number again?
Number 86.
Frank, if it's live ball, they might want to decline it.
Make sure.
I don't know what happened because I'm breaking up. What happened?
Hold on.
Blindside
Stop
block
talking.
in Arlington. Where's coach?
Personal foul. Blindside block. The offense. You want to decline?
4th down.
It's currently 3rd and 17.
3rd and
Penalties decline. 4th down.
15.
No, decline it. 4th down.
Decline it.
Need a K ball.
Yeah.
Need a K ball.
So it'll be 4th and 17. Yeah.
All right, here we go. They
decline it. Yeah.
Down. Let's get the ball down the end of the road.
Like 4th and 7, where the ball's at right now.
We're going to wind it up.
I'm good. Still declining.
Let me get back in position, please.
One more time with the number on.
Number 86.
Declining a penalty to make
The penalty was on number 86.
All right, after all that, still 4th down.
All right, offense, we're up.
This is what San Antonio needed, right? They needed to stop. And remember, with the way the scoring works, 17-point game is a 2-score game in the UFL. Get a 9-pointer and an 8-pointer. Or a 9 and 9 and you could win it.
Oh, yeah.
You can always go for 3 after a touchdown.
That, don't you?
Oh, yeah. You're never really out of it in the UFL.
Marquette King just smashed this thing all the way to the 13. Well, the San Antonio offense, we heard one of their players say, you know, Jayshon Corbin's our best player. He has led the way, averaging 5.6 per carry.
Yeah, picking right up where he left off last week. I think he averaged 5.2 last week. He's a really good running back that's going to get another shot in the NFL. He's really the epitome of an all-around back. Haven't seen him get involved out of the backfield through the air, but he has done a great job of getting vertical quickly, finishing runs physically. He's with Sam Acho right now.
And you see the numbers on the year leading the UFL with over 500 yards. Sam.
I'm here with Jayshon Corbin, the UFL rushing leader. What does that stat mean to you?
All glory to God, man. Shout out to my O-line, my receivers, quarterbacks. You know, this is an 11-man game. I couldn't have did it without them. I'm just thankful, honestly.
And you're a Florida State great, but there's another Corbin who just got out from Florida State. Tell us about your brother.
Hey, shout out to little bro X, man. He's a phenom. I'm just trying to lead him in the right way, be a good role model for him. Future's bright, and it's a full circle moment.
And then what does this opportunity mean for you?
Well, they prayerfully, you know, say get a look with the NFL and just go from there. Just take it day by day, get my body right for workouts and stuff, and just be ready to go when my name is called.
Thanks, Jayshon.
Appreciate that.
I'll tell you, Jayshon a few years ago, I remember I'm broadcasting a ABC primetime game to open up the 2021 season. It was against top 10 Notre Dame. He broke off an 89-yarder.
Number 0 there. You see the cutting, the vision ability, the breakaway speed. And look, as we said it, this game right here has 0 playoff implications. Both these teams are going to be done here with their season in 6 minutes and 48 seconds. But the NFL is watching. And the NFL scouts are watching this game. And they've been watching Jashaun Corbin. And I think a lot of them are going to be chomping at the bit to get him in camp and see if he can stick around for a roster next year.
Sheridan going ahead on what was 2nd and 4. And that'll be a first down for San Antonio.
And I say back to the NFL for a guy like Jashaun Corbin. He was an undrafted free agent with the Giants in 22. Played 6 games, regular season games for the Giants in 2023. So just a guy that needs more reps, needs more opportunity to develop, and he's getting that here in the NFL, and probably ready to showcase it here when camp comes around in August.
A lot of pressure, and being brought down was Mon by Caleb Johnson. Good defensive player in the middle of that defense for Arlington.
Yeah, just a blitz right off the edge. That's one that you got to be able to see pre-snap if you're Kellen Mond. The alignment, the eyes, the proximity there to the line of scrimmage. You got to be able to see Caleb Johnson coming off the edge and get rid of that ball or change the protection.
You know, I'm curious. We've been wrapping up some perspective on the season, and we'll get to it after this play here. But some good defensive players this year in the UFL. We've seen a Janae Harris in this game alone for Arlington. He's been outstanding. Could have had a pick 6 earlier today. There's 2nd down and 16 for Kellen Mond and the Brahmas. But your take on the Defensive Player of the Year honors?
Yeah, Pita Dalmapenu for St. Louis has been the best defensive end in the entire UFL. He leads the UFL in sacks at 7.5. He is a wrecking ball. And a Janae Harris, I mean, he might have jumped to the top of that conversation to be taking that interception earlier and back to the house. Already has 1 pick 6 this year. And Joe Wallace, an interior defensive lineman, does not get enough credit for the way he affects games. 4.5 sacks on the year. I believe he's 2nd in the UFL in TFLs. He is a game wrecker as well. You got a lot of good guys playing good ball on that side. To me, Dalmapenu has just been in a league of his own this year.
3rd and long. Has to just try to check down underneath, and that goes incomplete. Now here's what we're telling you with a Janae Harris earlier today. I mean, you can't have a pick 6 more hand-delivered than that.
Oh, he had a 102-yard pick 6 week 4 against St. Louis, and he was, as I said earlier, he was planning the celebration before that ball was in his breadbasket. He's going to go back, look at tape, and go, man, that's one I should have had.
When he was at USC playing for the Trojans, he had 3 pick 6s back then playing college football. We talked to Marvin Sanders a few weeks back. He said, the thing I love about him, though, is like having an extra coach on the field.
Yeah, he's so smart, right? And they can play him at a number of different positions on the back end, move him around, match him up, blitz him.
The short punt, massive hit, and the flag comes in. Remember, Biscayno is the punter now. He's the place kicker, so the return man is lining up, assuming it's the normal punter. But that thing hung up there short, and thus the coverage team, Joe Powell, leading the way straight down there. As Powell got blown up by Jackson.
That is correct.
He did not signal. So the hit is, from a timing perspective, is legal, but it is a personal foul because he's a defenseless player. Let's go personal foul, hit to the head neck area of a defenseless player.
Saying Joe Powell was defenseless.
What was that number?
20.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Number 20 of the kicking team. High hit to the head neck area of a defenseless player. 15 yards will be added to the end of the play with an automatic first down.
Yeah, this is such a hard play for Story Jackson. And just listen to this one. And again, from a timing perspective, you heard Dean Blandino. The timing was fine because Powell didn't ask for a fair catch, so it was right after the ball, but he is a defenseless player. As he's trying to catch that football, the impact or the contact was kind of to the head or neck area.
Let me ask you this. He hit him with his shoulder and his high shoulder based on what they just showed. I'm asking, like, your expert opinion. Can I challenge what Dean's ruling is? Like, yes, will he look at it?
He took off catch interference, but he put on a personal foul.
I know, and I guess what I'm trying to decide is...
If you challenge it, I don't think he would change it because he put it on.
Okay, do you have contact with Dean? Can you, talking to him I know, right can you radio up to Dean and say, from what we just saw on that TV, it was a violent hit.
It doesn't have to be head-to-head.
No,
if it's
it was shoulder to neck, like shoulder to high shoulder. What we just saw on the TV, I didn't see any contact to the head and neck.
I'm going to give him the previous spot.
Let's go in
Yeah, yeah, but it's
previous spot. Run. We're enforcing it from the previous
The previous spot was the 28. It was 4th and 17.
Can somebody relay what I'm saying to Dean, though? Because I want explanation on how he views that as head contact. Because what they just showed on the screen is not that. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Like, I got no issue with you.
Tell Coach the foul.
And that's what I'm saying. Maybe he has a view that I don't have because
what
we just saw here.
Dean just said foul because he hit a defenseless player in the head and neck area.
What? They're assessing the penalty, though, on this punt. So it's going to be 4th and forever. No, it's 4th and 30.
Down, we had to go backwards.
Yeah, no. I'm with that. So I was talking to my coach on that. I guess I just want to talk to Dean after the game because
I'm going to enforce him in the neck. It's the head and the neck area.
I understand. All I'm saying is, like, from what they just showed on that little TV deal, it looked like now it's hard because I'm on the field and I'm only seeing what. Oh, hold on, run that back. I'm telling you, run that back. Oh, I wish they would. What I saw in that glimpse was it looked like he made shoulder contact to shoulder. You know what I mean? But that's why I was hoping Dean could show what he saw, because what I just saw on that, at least standing right here, didn't look like it.
Command Center reviewed that.
Does that make sense?
I have explained that.
Appreciate you.
Is good, yes.
Sure.
It's almost like asking a fellow poker player to show you his hand before you call him all night.
Well, if you're going to challenge, you challenge.
Yeah, you got to
it's
challenge
like he wants
it.
to know the result.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask Dean about that.
Uh-oh.
Biscayno, he just sends it off the side of his foot. Dean, let me ask you a question. If you're done administrating in the Verizon Command Center. Dean, do you overhear that conversation with Coach Peyton Pardee with your official and sort of get ahead of it a little bit?
I do. I can listen to what the coaches are talking to the officials about. Now, on that play, officials threw a flag. You had a returner that did not signal, so he can be contacted. From a timing perspective, it was legal. He touched the ball and then was hit, but he's still defenseless, and the contact was to the head neck area. Because San Antonio recovered the ball, the only place we can enforce that penalty is back at the line of scrimmage and replay 4th down.
Thank you, Dean. Day Hunter. Go back and take one more look at what happened on that punt return. You look at the returner middle top of your screen here. You see there was no signal, but here comes the penalty right there.
Converted to one of his pressure.
Perez downfield, incomplete.
Boy, a lot of credit to Sean Fresh in this game. You know, Will Reed, the defensive coordinator for Brahmas, mentioned we're starting a couple young guys that we just picked up. Sean Fresh signed just a couple weeks ago. Gave up one big one to King Butler last week. A couple really good plays in tight coverage. He's been fantastic. He's been in the right position every time they've tested him deep.
Gotta go.
Perez take another shot. This time he earns the flag as he was looking for Deontay Burnett.
Holding defense.
21. Holding. Number 21 in the defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
This time William Hooper, again in tight coverage. Peyton Pardee still with that challenge in his pocket. He's getting a look at the replay here in the stadium.
I'm talking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
No,
you're good. You're good. I was holding you to make sure I didn't want the challenge. All right, so
It's interesting there is Peyton Pardee is, you know, the officials overhearing him. You got Dean who can listen to everything. And as we come up on the 2-minute warning, 23-6. This presentation of the UFL will continue after these messages and a word from our ABC stations. Remember, the Women's College World Series is coming up next right here on ABC, and it is an elimination game between UCLA and Tennessee. Carlin Pickens, one of the best players in the country, 2 times the SEC Pitcher of the Year. That is coming up next right here on ABC. Elimination game in the Women's College World Series. Week 10 regular season finale of the UFL here in San Antonio. Sidearm, and that ball as Allers is picked off, as it was Jalen Elliott who secured it as Holton Allers came in to play quarterback.
Yeah, once again, this little package with Allers here just trying to get on the edge. Ball just a little inside on the RPO. And that, I mean, to Luke's point, this package has been a nightmare tonight. I mean, just nothing going right. It's been disjointed.
And you could just line up and run it, Jordan. I mean,
yeah,
you're in control of the game. You're in plus territory. Lean on the offensive line. Let the clock run. Force them to use timeouts.
So Kellen Mond and San Antonio back out there. Mond is going to get it complete to Greg Ward Jr. That's their speed package, obviously, as Mond drops back to pass again. He's got pressure on him, and he is taken down immediately by Nchukwa with the sack here.
Boy, he's just working on the right side right here, and it is nothing to this. Just does a great job with his hands, swiping, and then getting underneath with a little bit of bend.
Let's bring in Aaron Dolan, our betting analyst, to wrap up the day on the gambling side. Aaron?
Well, the game's not over, but right now it is trending towards Arlington, of course, winning as well as covering. And that's great for the public, considering 81% of the money was on Arlington to win. Now, as for that total, I did like an over, but it's trending towards the under. Under so far this week will go 3-0, it's looking like, after overs were obviously the trend from week 3. So that's kind of what we're seeing so far from the book. But game is never over until it's actually over.
Indeed, great job today, Aaron. You saw that player prop as well for Luis Perez, who went over his yards at 290 yards in a game that was well managed.
I think they got a little pump double move, trying to push the ball vertically here.
Mond, as he goes underneath to Stevenson.
Again, a normal college or NFL game, this is over, right? It's a 3-score game. We're still in a 2-score game situation. Remember, with the UFL, instead of an onside kick, you can go for it on 4th and 12 to retain possession. So Need some urgency here, but it's not over for the Brahmas if they can put together a drive.
Sheridan on 3rd and 9 spins ahead, but it'll be 4th down from there.
Yeah, you need to do it here. You need to get a big chunk play and a score very quickly. But this is the ball game here on 4th down.
Tell John Trey, tell Gordon he's got a corner. Be quiet about it. You got John Trey possibly. 4th down.
4th down, Kellen Mond. Incomplete as he went downfield looking for his tight end, Thomas Gordon. So now you think about Arlington and the season they had. Head coach Bob Stoops, remember, injured this week, unable to be with the team here today. But all those one-possession losses, as you see Chuck Long, the interim head coach, they had that stretch from the end of April through mid-May, and that heartbreaking loss at DC where they lost 4 straight, and all those games could have gone their way.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, they lost to DC twice by a combined 7 points. They were 1-1 against St. Louis, lost by 6 points and beat them by 15. I think what stands out most, they have 5 losses, all to playoff teams.
Yes.
And all 5 losses by a combined 15 points.
So it's a team that's going to finish the year 5-5. But you watch them play, you know their talent. They could easily be in the postseason that we're thrilled to be bringing you next week. Luis Perez, what a day for him. 26 of 32, 81% completion percentage, threw for 290 yards. He was sacked only 1 time. He spread the ball around, completing passes to 9 different receivers, and he had a touchdown run. Big day from Perez.
Yeah, massive, and just showcasing again why he deserves another shot in the NFL. A guy that as a backup quarterback can come in and run any system and be extremely efficient. A disappointing year for the Spring King and for Arlington, but they should be proud about the performances they put together each and every weekend.
23-6 is your final. Reminder, we will be back with the USFL Conference Championship, the postseason, next Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern, right here on ABC. The Michigan Panthers against the Birmingham Stallions. We'll see you then.